Good evening, people. It's Wednesday, it's 6:30, and it's time for Serenity Night Live. Woohoo! Today I am not in a good mood. I have no idea why I'm not in a good mood. Has it got to do with my mood swings? Has it got to do with my ADHD? Has it got to do with today's topic? I have no idea. But let me introduce myself first of all, for those who don't know who I am, and for those people that are seriously not listening, because I'm alone in the room right now. I'm Shama, I'm your host, I'm your hormonal hurricane survivor, and the only person who's ever forgotten what they were ranting about mid-rant. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, particularly the ladies, this is for you. Tonight we're going to be diving into that confusing time where both our bodies and our brains have decided to glitch. And I'll be honest with you, when I did my deep dive this time, we're not even going to be, how long can we go on for today? Could be 15 minutes, could be 50 minutes, could be an hour and 50 minutes. I have a lot to say today. So this is the time where both our brain and our bodies are deciding to glitch a little bit. It's perimenopause meets ADHD. Ta-da! Like you didn't know that was going to come up at some point in our lives. So are you hot like me? Or are you just hot and moody like me and cannot remember what day it is? That happens, and a lot of other things. Well, you're definitely in the right place if that's the case. So what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about ADHD and perimenopause. I want to draw a parallel between the difference of menopause and perimenopause. I mean, it's a long time till we get to menopause, but the pre-perimenopause and the perimenopause, it's pretty awful stuff going on right now. I'm experiencing a few symptoms, but I'm going to give away my age here. Guess my age. I'll let you guess my age. So ADHD and perimenopause, we're going to be talking about that. Remember, if you are going to join me and you'd like to be live on the show, you can request to join, but you will be live. You don't have to have your camera on, but please have a chat with me and let me know what you're doing. So this week's accountabilities, what are you guys up to this week? What do you want to achieve by next week's show? Let me know in the comments below. We've had a few things, but I've forgotten what they are. I have actually forgotten what they are. Welcome to my world. This is the way it goes. So let's start again fresh. Drop me your accountability goals this week. I will most definitely make a note of them for next week so that I can hold you accountable for it. Just going to wave to a couple of people. Hi, Ali. Hi, nice to see you. So are you ready to do your deep dive, your body doubling? So just a quick thing about body doubling. So every week, as you know, we do the accountability challenge, which is I'm holding you accountable to what you say you're going to do by the end of the week. But on the flip side of that, I also do body doubling. God, I look tired today. What is going on? So I do body doubling. Body doubling is just me hovering in the background, you knowing full well that I'm hovering in the background. Go and get that job done, whatever it is you wanted to get done. So what is it going to be this time? Now, bearing in mind, today's topic is going to be a bit of a deep dive. I don't know how long I'm going to go on for. It could be forever. It could be the next few weeks, or it could be this is enough for now. If you are watching and you are experiencing some perimenopausal symptoms, or even, do you know what? Even better, are you a guy who has females in their household and wants to understand what is going on with the women in your house? Join me, ask us questions. I will do my best. Worst case scenario, we can always ask an expert, or I can put somebody on the phone and ask them instead. Okay, so there's always that. All right, so are you ready? Get ready to do your chores. We are going to deep dive. So sit back, grab your water, grab your tea, grab your HRT stickers, stick patches, that's what they are. And I got my water. I hope you're drinking your water. Let's get started. So first things first, what is perimenopause? So very different from what menopause is, as you know. It begins around 8 to 10 years before the actual menopause. So typically we're looking at late to 30s, early 50s is when it should kind of start. I'm in my late 40s, so have I started some symptoms? I'll tell you about that later. So what happens? Estrogen and progesterone begin to fluctuate quite unpredictably. Hot and cold symptoms start coming up, so they keep fluctuating up and down. Symptoms: irregular periods, mood swings, hot flushes, night sweats, memory issues, sleep disruptions, dryness in the area, in our intimate area. I will say it one day, but it would be nicer if there was somebody around that I could actually say this to. What am I getting afraid of? I can say it, but I don't even know whether I'm going to say it properly or not. So I'm just going to leave that there. Of our most intimate lady parts, we experience some dryness, anxiety, low libido and weight changes. You can tell I did not think this subject through. I completely forgot that we may have to talk about certain parts of the body at some point in our lives. Welcome to me trying to mature up. It's the funniest thing ever. So let's make it relatable, yeah? Because none of this made sense to me. Puberty backwards is the only way that I can describe. But now we're expected to hold down a job, raise the children, and not scream at things anymore. So well done me. Pat on the back for getting them through the day without having to do any of those. So a funny story. As people know, I got diagnosed at a later stage. I think I was probably about 45 when I got diagnosed. So for me, it was a case of, what the hell is going on? Is it a case of me getting older? Is it a case of ADHD? Turns out it could be ADHD, old age, and perimenopause going on with me. Is there, I can't figure it out. So I thought I was being burnt out. I thought I was depressed. I thought there was some sort of early onset dementia. Turns out it's just perimenopausal symptoms married with ADHD, married with the fact that we're getting older, and things are, what the hell, right? Sweating, forgetting people's names, snapping at my kids. Well, no, that happens anyway. It's got nothing to do with perimenopause. I will snap at kids at the drop of a hat. But, sometimes I did find myself getting a little bit irritable. So, guys, what are your symptoms? Tell me. What kind of things are you experiencing right now? And what are you doing to combat that? Has anybody gone through a stretch of months where you thought, am I actually losing my mind? Or is there something definitely going on? For me, it was the night sweats, because everybody started talking about night sweats. And when I started feeling those night sweats, it was super uncomfortable and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then when someone mentioned that it's also a symptom of perimenopause, so not menopause per se, perimenopause, which is, like I said, 8 to 10 years before we even get there. So we've got 8 to 10 years of hell. Is it not enough that we went through our lives? We were in the prime of our lives and we had to be disturbed by our period, that now we are in the prime of our age. Not even knowing our lives now, we're in the prime of our age. We still got things going on for us. And now we have to go through this? Is there no end to this madness? People, no wonder we are going crazy. Honestly, I'm going to wave to a few people. Hi, Tyra. Nice to meet you. So, come on. Who else is getting symptoms around here? Let's do a bit of a deep dive in regards to our hormones. So, with our hormones, we've got estrogen and we've got dopamine. These are the things that we need. Estrogen boosts our dopamine, which is the neurotransmitter that ADHD brains already lack. So not only are we lacking with the dopamine, but now our estrogen is dropping as well. So if our estrogen is dropping and our dopamine is dropping, what does this increase? Disorganization, emotional deregulation or dysregulation, sensory overwhelm, depression, anxiety, lack of executive dysfunction. Oh no, hang on. Got that completely wrong. Executive dysfunction. We've got time blindness, and let's not forget the rage and rejection sensitivity that we feel on a regular basis. Is there no end? Why do we have to go through so much? What did we ever do to get all of this? Why is it that we are the ones that have to suffer so much for so little? You know, before my perimenopause, I'll be honest with you, I never needed a calendar. I never needed a calendar because never missed appointments, could always remember someone's phone number. I was everybody's phone book. I was everybody's, what's that, 112? Is it 112? Yeah, you know, the phone book one that we have to do. Is it 112? I can't remember. Oh, hello, somebody wants to join. Maybe. No, they don't want to join. That's okay. It's fine. You can still join whenever you feel like. I mean, to be honest, do you want to talk about it? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there something in your household that you want to understand that you can't get it right now? So, like I said, before my perimenopause, it was a case of I never used to miss appointments. I was everybody's phone book. I had so much going on. Now, if somebody says so much as even to relax, I lose my shit. That's how bad it's got. Don't tell me to relax in the wrong tone. I will punch your face in. Yeah? And people know that I will. And don't get me started in suddenly hating loud music. Me hating loud music. Hello from Dubai. Oh, hello. You're in Dubai. I just came back from there. It was so bloody hot. And I did not enjoy myself this time around because it was so hot and it was just too much overload. But I hope you're having a good time and fun. Don't get me any Dubai chocolate, by the way, because I can't stand the stuff. There, I said it. I dare you to beat me up over it. Fight me because I don't like Dubai chocolate or anything to do with Dubai chocolate. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, so anyone suddenly getting more ragey than usual? What little things are setting you off these days that never used to bother you before? I'll be honest with you, my road rage has really shot up. And I don't know whether it's because where I'm living at the moment, everyone is just super careful with their cars and there's just me just coming out of nowhere like a speed demon and just like, get out of my way. I don't appear to have much patience for silliness when it comes to driving. And oh my God, don't get me started on this 20 miles per hour madness. What on earth? Why am I having to get out, 20 minutes? No, not even 20 minutes. 2 hours earlier, because not only do I have to account for this 20 miles per hour ridiculousness, but also the fact that mid-rant, see, this is what happens. I forgot what I was about to say mid-rant. It's happened live. But anyway, let's forget about it. It's just something that's going on with me right now. It is crazy. So, discovering ADHD. When I discovered that I've got ADHD, that made me even more interested in the hormones. What is going on with my hormones? Is there a link between my ADHD and the migraines that I'm experiencing on a regular basis? Ifan says it's too hot out there. Looking forward to the British weather. Yeah, it's going to rain soon. So 1 minute it was raining before. Now it's going to be sunny. Then it will rain again. No doubt. No doubt about it. So the hormones that I'm particularly interested in right now at the moment is my cortisol production because of the migraines, and that has something to do with a high level of production of that. The estrogen and the progesterone are particularly of interest to me, and I'm taking a variety of different supplements in order to make sure that I'm not lacking. So that's something that perhaps you want to tell your loved ones, to make sure that they have the right amounts of vitamin D, vitamin C, and omega and zinc and magnesium. Those are the ones, especially for the women. I don't know whether you remember, we touched upon this, and we're going to revisit the nutrition at some point, probably in the next couple of weeks. But I do have a marriage expert coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So we're going to talk to her. But I would also want us to revisit the nutrition at some point. Wow. So there's a lot of traffic today on IG. Trying to hop on to my show was a chore. Well, I'm glad you managed to join us, Jax. Welcome. So when I try to talk to my doctors about this, it's really difficult in the 10 minutes that I have with them to be able to pinpoint exactly what it is. So it would now take so many different appointments in order to pinpoint what it was. And then with my ADHD, I would never remember what we talked about in the last conversation anyway. So for me, I'm now just kind of not cutting and pasting per se, but just trying to figure out which hormones seem to be working and which ones I can do without. So I've considered to continue taking L-theanine, which is the amino acid which prohibits the production of cortisol. So I'm still taking that. That seems to be working a treat because I'm getting migraines, but they're not as like intensive as they were before. So whereas I used to get 8 or 9 on a scale of like 10, if 10 was the highest let me try again. If 10 was the highest threshold of pain, then we are talking, I'm at a 4 at the moment. Okay, so with the L-theanine, it seems to be working. The other thing that I'm doing at the moment is that I'm continuing, even though my doctor said it's up to me, I am continuing to take progesterone, because even if I don't want to take the estrogen right now and I'm trying to keep my levels going, taking the mini pill seems to be working. So ladies, if you are struggling a little bit, maybe continuing on taking the mini pill may help regulate that a little bit. And then as far as our dopamine levels are concerned, you know, we have to do dopamine mining. So whatever that looks like, looking for things that we enjoy doing, things that make us happy, things that make us passionate about, you know, obviously that keeps us young as well and keeps the estrogen production going to a certain extent. But obviously our bodies can only make so much. So we've got to stick to the dopamine. That's my take on it anyway. That's what I feel. So what's really helped me, the L-theanine has helped. Still sticking to the mini pill has helped. Continuing to do my dancing, continuing to do the things that I love has really, really helped. That helps with the lack of the bloatedness that some people have experienced. I've not experienced that, but I don't know whether that's because of the exercising and the progesterone that I'm taking as a result of that. So if you guys feel that there's something not quite right, or there's something not kind of sitting well with you, you know your bodies. And men also, look out for those signs. Is your woman more irritable than usual? You know, don't just assume that, oh, it's periods, because it's not anymore in this case. It's not. We're irritable for a reason. So, you know, be nice, okay? Be nice to us, be patient with us. We're going through some real horrible shit right now. So, you know, when somebody turns around and says, oh, maybe it's just stress, maybe it's just depression, maybe I'm just getting more ADHD symptoms, I'm just like, don't tell me. I already know what I think it could be. I just need the support. I need support. I just need someone to hold my hand, give me a bar of chocolate and say, everything is going to be okay. It'd be nice if they also gave me a blank check, but I'm okay with that. If they don't want to give me that, that's okay. The chocolate and the hug will be perfect. I could do with a chocolate and I could do with a hug. So thank you very much. Join support groups. I may set up a support group. I may start this going because, you know, to be honest, there's so many different symptoms out there and everyone is experiencing so many different, oh, what was that? Oh, be patient with us too. Oh, we are patient with you. It's just when you start being stupid, we want to slap. That's my only thing I can say to you. Just, we will be patient with you, I promise. Right, ladies, you heard it here. The men also require you to be patient with them while they try and figure who and what you're trying to do. So maybe there is a case of communication here. Just saying, communicate might be good. I'm not going crazy. I'm just chemically imbalanced. Stick that on a t-shirt. And no one wants to talk about it, but I am willing to talk about it. So come and talk to me about it. Here you go, a chocolate and a hug. Oh, that's really sweet. But do you know, to be honest, I need a physical piece of chocolate. But guess what? I'm also trying to be really good because I'm trying to regulate the amount of sugar that I'm taking to see whether that makes a difference in the amount of bloating and the amount of symptoms that are coming through. So maybe eating chocolate, keeping it just for the weekends for me seems to work better and discipline me better. So during the week, no sugar except for in my tea. I need to have sugar in my tea, yeah. And so as a result of that, I am drinking more tea than usual. But hey, it's better than eating cakes, biscuits, and the cup of tea on top of that. Just saying. What else? So are you guys still doing your body doubling? What are you guys doing at the moment? Who's doing the ironing? Who's doing the washing up? Who's just sitting there having a good time in Dubai? Anyways, all good. Yeah, I'm not jealous at all. I just got back from there, like I said. Okay, so now we're going to go to some expert inspired research, she says, because I am no expert on this, but I did ask a few people about this. Do you know, this is really bizarre. This program was designed for the women to talk about their symptoms, but I'm getting men on here, and I think that's brilliant. I love you guys for coming on here and wanting to know more. So we're going to talk about it from her, and then one leaves. I'm having so much fun with these guys. So look, I've got some experts. I spoke to some people, Geraldine Pryor, Luann Brizendine, Sarah Hill, Tracy Marks, and Dr. Aviva. These are all hormone researchers. They are female brain specialists, hormones and cognition specialists, and perimenopause specialists. So I spoke to these people and I asked them, what is going on here? So they gave me some science-backed nuggets. Are you ready for this? So, did you know estrogen drops mess with memory, even in non-ADHD women, but with ADHD people, they feel this 10 times more. Hormonal dips mimic or amplify rejection sensitivity disorder. Many women report higher social anxiety and people pleasing. I can understand that somewhat because we feel that we're on edge and we don't want people to be bad, mad or sad with us, especially with our ADHD, because 9 out of 10 times somebody's either mad with us or sad or they feel bad or something stupid like that. And I don't want that anymore. So we try and make everybody happy, but we burn out as a result of that. Let me just check in with the comments. Shama, how do men deal with anxiety? That's a really good question, because then we've got to understand, where is the anxiety coming from in the first place? So if we can identify what the emotion is regarding that anxiety, and then we can figure out what the triggers are, then we can figure out how either we're going to reframe it, or we're going to see it in a different way, or we're going to accept it and kind of do something about it. But from my experience, people who have experienced anxiety is because they're either overwhelmed, they're bored, and they don't know how to tell people that they're bored, and they want to please everybody around them, and or the job is just way too big for them. So think about what it is for you. What do you mean by anxiety? Because it is a huge word. And from that, there's fear, there's anger, there's lots and lots of negative emotions attached to that. So you need to figure out where that's coming from. And if you want some help figuring that out, I'll be more than happy to talk you through that. But journal it out if you can, because it will, reading it and seeing it in black and white will hopefully carve out the right pathway for you to figure out where you need it. And message me later, because I've got some tips that will really help bridge the gap with what you feel you're accomplishing versus what you feel you're not accomplishing. That also gives men a lot of anxieties, because they feel that they're not doing enough, or that their partners don't feel, or they're not being appreciated enough by their partners. So think about what that looks like for you and then come back to me. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Oh, bless you. An amazing analysis. You pinpointed every symptom. Well, look, like I said, I'm here. If you need to talk, I'm here for you guys. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, so more comments. Yeah, I feel it'll help me understand my girl better. More empathy is always good. I love that. Amazing. I second what my other brother said. This will be a good topics for our cause, coach. I'm a naturally anxious person. Right, well, that's something that we can talk about. But for now, you want to know more about perimenopause, that's what we're here for. So more science-backed nuggets to share. I'll come back to your comments soon. Perimenopause and ADHD are both linked to sleep disruptions. Ugh, I am not surprised by that, to be honest. And both together are an absolute nightmare. Welcome to my world. Now it's official. I am an absolute nightmare because my ADHD gives me very natural, very natural insomnia. I don't sleep. And when I do sleep, I it's enough for me to thrive. I'm happy with the amount of sleep I do get if I get it, even if it's just 4 hours, even if it's just 2 hours. Those 2 hours are so deep. I feel like I'm getting my full sleep, but naturally that catches up on me. So I've got my Saturdays and Sundays where I do complete passive rest, because then that allows me to reset for the next day. But now, because of the perimenopause situation, I'm now experiencing even more insomnia than I did before, which is terrible, because I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. I naturally wake up very early. And it doesn't matter what time I go to sleep, I will always wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes 5:30, just depends. But normally, almost always, I am up. By 7, I am out of bed. I'm probably out of the house. I'm probably doing something by now. Either I'm taking my cat, who's got a bit of he's got mental health issues as well. He thinks he's a dog, wants to go out for a walk twice a day. Don't ask me, he takes me for a walk as well. I get my steps in. It's all good. So not sleeping very well. And now that we've got these night sweats happening and it's set to get worse, I'm not going to be sleeping. So if I'm annoyed or I'm pissed off in my next show, you know what happened. All right, let's wave to a few more people. Hi Ifra, hi Harish, nice to see you guys. So I mentioned some of the hormones that we should be having, but I'm also and some of the vitamins that we should be having. I forgot to mention iron is also a big one. Magnesium I've also mentioned. Vitamin B I've also mentioned, and omega-3 I have also mentioned those. So I think iron was probably the only thing that I missed out. So remember, vitamin D, great. Do your vitamin D, your vitamin C. You've got your iron, you've got your magnesium, you've got your vitamin Bs, and omega-3. So if you can have that, I'm sure they will help you with some of the symptoms, because they do get worse. You won't make enough iron, you won't make enough magnesium, and you definitely won't make enough B12. So we need all of those extra bits. So please explain to your loved ones how important it is to get those extra vitamins in. We good? So out of my ladies, if there are any, because at the moment it's all men who are absolutely fascinated with this topic. I absolutely adore you guys for doing that. Thank you. Who's tracking their cycle and symptoms? Are you tracking their cycle and symptoms? You absolutely should, because if they're not doing it, you should be doing it. And I'll explain why in a second, okay? So are you ready? Get your pen and paper. Let me just grab some water, because I'm talking too much. And I love the fact that you guys are interacting with me. It is an absolute honor, I'm telling you. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to have some more. So, tracking the cycle. Why is it important that we track our cycle? It is good for us to understand where our cycle is diminishing. So, do we have a longer gap between our periods, or is it now a shorter gap? Figure it out where it's going. I would love to have experts coming up and telling us more about this. And I will, once I've got my experts, we're going to talk more about this and you can join. This is just an introductory, that this is my way of saying it is okay to talk about these things, just like it's all right to talk about anything to do with perimenopausal symptoms, no matter whereabouts in the body they are. It makes no difference. We are going to talk about it. And one day I'll be able to say the word without blushing, but not today. That's not happening. So there are some people that are tracking. That's amazing. Ifra, tell me, what happens when you track? What is the benefit of you tracking your cycle? What does it enable you to do? Tell me. Because as you get older, I don't know how old you are now. Actually, I do know how old you are. Do I? I think I do know who you are, in fact. My brain's going completely dead. Of course I know who this person is. I know how old you are. So tell me, when you are tracking everything, what does it enable you to do? And what kind of knowledge do you get from doing that? So do you use places like Clue, Balance, or even pen and paper on a calendar? What do you use to do that? Can you please tell my clients so that we can talk about it and we can get other people involved and get other people tracking their cycles as well. Hi Farida Umar, nice to see you too. We're talking about perimenopause situation. What's your situation with perimenopause? Everybody wants to know, what are the symptoms? What are your symptoms? I'd love to know, because I've got some really thoughtful men on this group as well that are really interested in knowing more about perimenopause. So if there's anybody out there who knows more, please come and help me, because I'm drowning out here, quite frankly. What are the other things that we can do? Maybe having an anti-inflammatory diet would help. So that's less processed foods, that's less sugar. I wish I still had my content from our nutritionist Natasha, because I'm telling you, it would have been absolutely amazing to have her on there and talking about the menopausal situation as well. So think omega-3s, think leafy greens, think less sugar, think less processed foods. What else are you guys eating? What are you doing to help with your symptoms? Movement, positive movement is always useful. We've got to do walking, we've got to do the weights, we've got to do yoga to help reduce some of the cortisol and regulate our estrogen. I do everybody knows that I do Zumba, because that's really important. Hi Gupcast, nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. I'm sure that we are talking about perimenopause, so I'm sure that'll be very useful to you guys as well. And if you know a perimenopausal coach or any kind of coach, send them this way, because we need them. I'm drowning. I've done a 72-hour water fast, Gupcast says. Really? Oh, I'm interested in that. When you do a 72-hour water fast, does that mean you only have the fluids and you only have water and non-calorific drinks like black tea or black coffee or something like that? How do you feel after doing that? I can't do that. Not 72 hours without any food. Are you mad? You are mad. Okay. He said yes to that. Okay. Then you are mad. But yeah, tell me about that. Talk to me. Okay. While you're typing out your comments about how it made you feel, I do a lot of walking. I do Zumba maybe 3 times a week. I do weights maybe once or twice a week, and I do yoga twice a week. Yes, I do my maths. I do know my maths. There is more exercise than there is days in the week, but that's only because sometimes I do some stuff in the morning at the gym, and my Zumba classes. Hi to Dawn. Hi Dawn, Watford Zumba. I do that Monday morning, Tuesday evening, and Thursday evening, because that's a given. I take part in that. I also dance and take part in that on a regular basis. So those are my 3 Zumba days. I've got 2 yoga days, and I've got 2 weights, and the rest of the time I'm walking. So Gupcast, in answer to our water fasting, only water, green tea, and black coffee. Oh my God, kill me now. I can't do that. Where's the food? I need food. I need food. I can't do that. And even in my green tea, no. Black coffee, no. Even in my water, I probably need a bit of Robinson's in that as well. So, yeah. Well done you though for doing it. I'm glad you feel great. I will probably do that at some point, just not anytime soon. Uh, I do intermittent water fast. Jack says I do intermittent water and drink fasting too. Not done 3 days worth. LOL. And sea salt in water. Am I missing a trick here? Sea salt in water. So, oh, okay. Oh, for a split second there, I thought you were actually drinking sea salt in water, as in seawater. And I was just like, that is not good. But if you're putting a bit of salt in a bit of water, yes, because that promotes osmosis. Osmosis, for those people who didn't listen to science in their schooling, osmosis is the transference of water molecules through a membrane, which is a semi-permeable membrane. Hey, I remembered. I'm really pleased with that. Oh, sorry, I'm getting really distracted. Everyone is now just doing it. It's amazing. I'm getting so many comments. I can't keep up and I'm never going to get through. Hi, Suki Kaur. So we're still talking about electrolyte balances and things like that. So guys, that's another way. If you want to get some electrolytes balanced out, you can have water. And water fasting is a great way of regulating our hormones. So thanks, Gupcast. That's an amazing trick. Thank you so much. I probably won't do it because I need my food, but you do you. Satrikal, hello, and I hope you're well, everyone. Satrikal, and hello to you as well, Suki. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an absolute honor to have it. You're inspirational, Shamra. Keep it going, cuz. Oh, I love it. I am going to keep going, even if it is just me on my own sometimes. You should have checked back last week, by the way. I had a comedian. He was hilarious because he was so serious. We talked about so many serious issues. Guy was just like, hang on a minute, you're supposed to be a comedian. You're supposed to make me laugh, yeah? I was making him laugh instead. Anyway, listen, I still have 3 pages of notes to get through, yeah? So should we get through this quickly? So what else do we do? So I hope you guys are doing some exercise. That's important. Drinking loads of water. That's important. Thank you, Cass, for that. Omega-3s, dark leafy greens, less sugar. Mindfulness and nervous system regulation. What is that? Who does that? You know, deep breathing, meditation, cold showers, hot yoga. What does mindfulness and nervous system regulation do for you? For me, my mindfulness comes through my positive movement. I have to do positive movement. So for me, my dancing regulates my nervous system, regulates my mindfulness, makes me feel like when I'm moving, I'm expressing myself, I'm expressing with my hands, I'm telling a story. That's the kind of thing I like to do. So that's really important. Guys, we're almost there. We're down to 2 pages, by the way. So I will let you go when I'm done. Medical and supplement options. This is really interesting because this, again, is really subjective because some people might find that it works for them and other people don't. As soon as I say the word HRT, people just like, don't want to do that. I don't know what it's going to do to me. And I'll be honest with you, I'm in the same boat of that. I'm not sure whether I want to I want to be able to regulate my own hormones and figure out what works for me rather than having a patch that's quite generic, because then you've got to do a titration. And I think that's one of the reasons why I never went for a medication for ADHD, because I was just like, I don't need medication. I'm nuts anyway. What do I need medication for? I don't want to change my personality. Does it change personalities? Will HRT do the same thing for me? I don't know. Maybe. It's really hard to tell. But it's transdermal. So is it best for ADHD brains? Is it less spiky? I don't know. I'd love for somebody to come and tell me about this. Do you take HRT? What's it done for you? How is it working for you? Come and talk to me, because I am going to talk about this in a bit more detail at some point. Vitamin D, we've already mentioned. Vitamin D and omega-3. Somebody mentioned to me, actually, ashwagandha. I have no idea what that is. I imagine it sounds like some sort of root that comes from the same family as turmeric. Am I right? Who knows about ashwagandha? Am I even saying it right? It's ashwagandha? Ashwagandha? I don't know. It sounds like as if I should say bless you every time I say it. Someone say ashwagandha so I can say, bless you, here's a tissue. I'm going nuts. B6, another very, very important vitamin, a water-soluble vitamin, no doubt. Check for your iron. Check for your thyroid levels. That is going to be so important for your thyroid levels. Your thyroid is in charge of your metabolism. So if you find that you're getting more bloated, or when you're eating, you're still not metabolizing your food, and you find that your weight gain, even though you're eating the right thing, the deficiencies also mimic perimenopause. So please be very, very careful and be very wary about what this is. Oh, someone's answered our question. Ashwagandha is a naturally occurring sedative root. Yes, you are. I take it sometimes. Okay. All right. So I was right. It is a root. It's some sort of sedative root that helps. And Jax takes it. Ashwagandha isn't for people that have thyroid issues. I can't take it due to thyroid. Why? What does it do? That's really, really interesting. And has anybody tried other supplements? What's made you feel more human again? I guess that's it, really. From what I know, it's similar to Mary Jane. Is it really? I've never heard of that before. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so people, I mean, I'm going to start wrapping this up now, because I wanted to get some more people in who had a bit more of an expertise on perimenopause. I have put the feelers out there, and there will be some people coming soon, just not today. But you know what? I've had so much fun with you guys. I absolutely loved it. Amber, why do you keep coming just as I'm wrapping up? Do you just wait for me to wrap up and just say, right, now I'm joining? At least I've supported her for the last 5 minutes. That's not what friends do, yeah? I expect better. Are you going through perimenopause? Tell me what that looks like for you. Suki takes collagen product, vegan ones. Suki, what does collagen do for you? Does that help with some of the perimenopausal symptoms? Tell me about that. Ashwagandha gummies are available. Okay, well, we'll go and check that out. Thank you. Great live. Well done. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, I'd love to come and talk to you about your book at some point, Suki. So we need to talk. So I'm going to message you soon on WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, on Insta, and then we can talk about your book and what that means about resilience, because I think us women and men, actually, we need to learn a little bit more resilience, especially now in this day and age, and especially if you're brown skin or any skin color. Let's have some resilience, please. And Suki, you're going to be coming on the show. The show is absolutely nuts, yeah? So brace yourself. My cat could come up at any time. My husband and my kids could show up with a cup of tea at any time. Yeah, that's what will happen. But we'll talk, okay? Let's wrap it up. So what did you do during your 10 minutes? Did you listen to me? Did you speak to your women and say, this will be the talk that we're going to talk about today, about perimenopause, woman? Talk to me about your symptoms. I understand everything. I want to understand you because I love you so much. I hope you are going back to have those kind of conversations with your women. It will be a great pleasure. Come on the show to talk about the book. Yes, please. I would love to talk about your book, and I'm going to talk to you soon about this. So maybe tomorrow we'll have a conversation. Accountability goals. Have you got any accountability that you'd like to do and hold yourself accountable for next week? What would that look like? Do we have anybody else asking me any questions regarding symptoms, treatment, and mindset shifts, regarding any kind of coaching or anything about anxieties? Talk to me about anything. I did talk about perimenopause, but I'm happy to answer whatever questions we have. Thank you, Suki. I will definitely be calling you soon. But you might want to delete that, because I don't want everybody calling you. Just message me your number instead, please, baby. That will be a lot easier for you. Delete that now, because you're stunning. Okay, so let's keep our closing statement the way I want it to be. So Is your brain fog getting any foggier? Has your patience disappeared? Do you cry at supermarkets? And do you know what? I have noticed now there are certain songs that I can't listen to anymore because they send me spiraling. One song in particular. Do you know that song Rockabye Baby? Oh my God, I can't hear that song for getting choked up. I heard it in a petrol station while I was queuing up. And all of a sudden, I had tears in my eyes. Forget about that. I've also noticed now I can no longer sing. I think I might have mentioned this before, but I was singing along in the car, and all of a sudden I burst into tears. I don't know why. Well, I think I do know why. I think I know why I burst into tears. It had something to do with the fact that I associate now singing with my parents, and you know, there's a lot of things going on right now, and it's coming to that time of the year as well, so it's getting a bit difficult for me. But hey, I'm still here. I'm going to show up every week. Whether I'm going to be crying my eyes out, whether I'm going to be raging at Instagram for deleting my content, I'm so glad they didn't do it today. Thank you so much for that. You might be in perimenopause, or you might be a neurodivergent. If I have described anything from any of the above symptoms, go and get yourself checked out. The good news is you're not alone. I'm with you. The bad news is you might sweat throughout this whole shirt before I'm finished with this program. But guess what? You'll be fine. So look, if you want to be a part of the accountability challenge for next week, please message me. I'm just laughing at your comments. You guys are cracking me up. My middle name is C. So when I said I want anything to be associated with C. Oh, that's funny. I fancy eating a pani puri. Oh, yes, please. I fancy eating pani puri as well. I love pani puri. I've decided that is going to be my new treat. But we're going to go off a tangent if we start talking about food. So, like I said, if you want to have accountability for next week, DM me your accountability so I can say them live, and then you've got to go. Let's normalize talking about ADHD. Let's normalize talking about perimenopause. Let's talk about vaginal dryness. There, I said it live on air. Let's talk about it, okay? So we're not built for silence. I am not built to be embarrassed. My name is Shama. Welcome to Serenity Night Live. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon. Oh, by the way, Mental Health Awareness Week is coming up on the 12th of May. Look out, because I'll be doing a lot of crazy shit. All right? See you later. Bye.